recording. We're back again.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
I am excited. So I guess we can hop straight into this. I will start by listing off where we've gotten to. So we've done the first 15 picks.
Yep.
First 15 picks are Atlanta via New Orleans, Darren Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Washington then takes Cam Boozer.
Yep.
We've got Indiana with AJ DeBansa.
Yeah.
Sacramento with Caleb Wilson.
Mhm.
Brooklyn with Nate Mint. Charlotte with Kingston Flemings. OKC takes Quaintance. That leaves Dallas getting Mikel Brown. Then OKC takes Hugo Fakarat. Then Memphis takes Darius Acuff. Portland takes Nicholas Evaldes. And Chicago takes Tondi Yusufu. Milwaukee takes Dame Sarr. OKC take Koa Pete because OKC apparently has all the picks in this draft. Golden State then takes Chris Sinek Jr. And now we are to me again with the Spurs getting a pick. This pick is originally Atlanta's pick. And so the Spurs can go a lot of different ways here. There are not really a whole lot of things that the Spurs need.
Right.
My biggest fear is that this pick is actually going to this is going to Milwaukee for Giannis. Is my fear. Now, what we do know.
Fear.
That's the league's fear. That's the league's fear. So what we do know about the Spurs is they don't need a guard. They got guard completely covered right now.
Set.
They have center covered. They could maybe use, a combo bay power forward sized guy if you want one of those. But center, they don't need another center only because that spot is filled right now by Cornette, who's doing great.
Yeah.
So that to me makes it to where I don't think Steinbach is going to be one of the options.
No.
However, this tier that I have is mainly guards. The only other non-guard, I guess if you want to count Dash Daniels as a wing instead of a guard, we do that. Also have Andrei Stojakovic.
That's who I was thinking would be the one to
But I kind of think I might go down just a little bit farther because I really like the fit here, and he seems like he would fit it. To me, is Yaxel Lindenberg. This is where Yaxel lands.
So there he goes here. Okay.
I really like that fit there. I think that's a very good spot for him. He, Yaxel creates so many advantages on offense and on defense. He's such a unique player. Can play 3 through 5. I just think that he fits in really well there. I think you also, if they really do feel like Carter Bryant is going to be future there, then he doesn't affect anything. He does, he can play next to Bryant. Obviously can play next to Wemby. So I think his versatility is what is so intriguing to me. So, and also, I really think Yaxel could have gone earlier. So this is
I think so too.
I don't see him sliding much farther. Yaxel is such a, he's so good. The things that he can do are so, he's actually being played in a way not as helpful, to be honest, where he's at Michigan. They're kind of not putting him in the best position to succeed because they're using him to make Mara more successful. So that helps tremendously. To me, he's a floor raiser in a lot of different ways. So I really like him And I think that the ceiling is raised so far with the Spurs, with Wimby, with you've got Fox, I think, as a ceiling raiser. So you've got ceiling raisers. So I would look for some floor raisers. And I think that they've been really successful this year with Barnes.
Yes.
He's going to be your Barnes of the future, is my idea.
I can agree with that.
And also probably better defensively than Barnes.
I agree with that too. So, ironically, I was trying to think what pick would go. It's funny because Atlanta is right after.
Because of the Cleveland thing.
So, I was wondering to myself what it is that, I mean, they're going to take any kind of talent, but I was trying to figure out what would be best fit here because I think that that's exactly what they would pick with. Now, it's
intriguing to me. I just want to say it's intriguing to me that Dyson's little brother is still available.
Right, which is what was the caveat, this perfect caveat here. So
he's also the next best player on my board. And it's his brother. Like, they seem to be moving away from Trey, which, earlier, didn't we have a Atlanta pick earlier, right?
Yep, early they picked
Darren Peterson. So you can have him work well with, I think Peterson and Daniels is workable. Both Daniels is workable as a
right. And one can play more wing if you need him to. So you could slot him in. You can also have him as a solid backup rotation piece. So actually, that was exactly where I was going with my pick. So I guess you spoil the 17th pick. But I mean, to be honest, they are leaning more defensive, more size. Again, these are not knocks on Trey. This is just Trey's
that's where they're leaning. Yeah.
Right. Not a big guard, not the most defensively imposing, doesn't have the size to really defend and switch with the way the NBA was going. Not a knock on him as a player. I think he's talented, can shoot, can pass. His assist rate is amazing. But I do think that Atlanta is going to eventually move in a different direction. So,
man, and you want switchable, both Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Peterson, Onyeka Okongwu. That's the most switchable.
You got perfect.
It's insane.
Exactly.
You also have what's his name? Nickeil Alexander-Walker's there too.
Right.
He's really switchable. That's just there's a lot going for switchability in Atlanta.
Now someone could argue
because I think Nickeil would start over Dash for sure.
Oh no, for sure.
Someone
would argue that the pick might be redundant. I'm sure, just because of. But I'm of the opinion that you can never have enough defense. Number one. Number two, the kind of guard that he is, and I do think that being slotted there does not mean he needs to take or make all the decisions with the other talent that they have on the roster. So he gets an opportunity.
6-7 guys who can dribble, pass, and shoot aren't necessarily. You're not drafting over somebody. It does not hurt to have multiples of those guys.
I agree with you,
especially ones who can defend.
So that leaves us with Boston's pick, and funny enough, I know it's your pick, but I wanted to throw a name out here.
Yeah, throw me some names because this is where this can go. I'm being dragged a lot of different directions right now. So throw me some names.
I thought that they go. This is when Sonata Frew comes off the board. Because I do think that they need a center. That they need somebody who he's older, obviously, but I think that his readiness might be something the Celtics are looking for. And so there will be a team that'll go, a lot of teams will go, we're not going to pick him because of his age. And they'll pick him because of his strength, his ability to rebound. The athleticism has some question marks for a lot of people, but I'm wondering if he can translate some of the rebounding to that. So I don't know who you had in mind, but I thought maybe him.
So I am thinking big. I have not watched Frew enough for me to be comfortable drafting him yet. So that's just like I haven't watched enough. I haven't really sat down and watched him.
Or they go Hanas back.
Say that again.
They go Steinbach here.
So that's what because I was thinking the other German big, Steinbach. The problem is I don't know that I loved Steinbach's defense. And with Tatum maybe taking a step back defensively because of the ACL, or the was it ACL or Achilles? It was Achilles. Yeah. Because of his Achilles, I'm not totally sure that I want to say Steinbach. So I'm leaning currently right now. I think I'm leaning to Alex Condon from Florida. But I am willing. I'm stuck between him and Steinbach. Because do you want more offense? Do you want more defense? If there's a team and a coach that's going to get Steinbach to be a good defender,
yeah,
I think it's Boston. Like I think they can make that work.
I agree with you.
And if there's a team and a coach that's going to make Condon work on offense, it's going to be Boston. So I kind of like it's like I could like both work.
That is interesting.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the potential on the board. This is probably the only time that Boston is going to be this bad for a long time. So I'm going to take Steinbach, and we're gonna go with that.
Okay.
And we're gonna go with the higher upside for Steinbach.
I totally agree with the pick. I thought he is the kind of player that I think Boston would draft. He does have skill sets that they appreciate from their big men. I think he's a lot more skilled than some of the. I would say he's less run and dunk. There's a lot more to his game that he can kind of showcase for this particular team.
Shooting, a little bit of ball handling, a little bit of passing, so he does a lot.
A little bit of everything.
So now you're at Memphis. So what we established via Orlando. So what we established with the last Memphis pick was the only people that they were really factoring in were Edey and so we're not really worried about JJJ because we think they're eventually going to move. And Wells, but honestly, Wells might be a long-term bench piece to me. Like I think, I don't think you're worried about if you think somebody's that much better than Wells, you draft him.
Fair. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
And so, so we established those, but that those three are the ones that you're worried about because we think that they're going to move off of Ja and JJJ eventually.
So there's two ways that this goes to me. If I think they could go Isaiah Evans here.
Okay.
From the shooting, for shooting and his, he gets his shot without the ball. Is capable of not having the ball in his hands and still creating opportunities for his team. So that's one direction. But if they are going to lean away from JJJ, and this is not an upgrade, this is just adding new talent, as I think that they're going to move from him for a plethora of different reasons. I could either see JT Toppin as an option. He is a bit smaller, but you're putting him next to Edey. So keeping that in mind, that's a possibility there. And then they have Acuff. So, or would have drafted Acuff. So I'm wondering here if this is where maybe we see them go European and they go Noah Kakuo Huge.
The one who's in Perth right now? The guy, yeah. I like that because Memphis could in theory, leave him over, keep him. They could bring him over. They could leave him in Australia. They could go either direction there.
Right.
So that's like I like that idea.
So that's going to be my for Memphis.
Yeah. So I've heard from another scout that said that they feel like he is actually, that Noah should not come into this draft because they think that the developmental leap that he's going to take will be so big that he will probably go top 5 next year. So I could definitely see Memphis thinking that and just saying we're going to draft him now. We're going to draft him now because that's how Memphis thinks. Yes. So I really like that.
So that leaves us. We got it here. We got Charlotte at 20.
Now, Charlotte has taken Kingston Flemings.
Right.
I think Charlotte needs to probably go big here, I would think.
I think so.
And I'm not, well, they've got Kalkbrenner, and Kalkbrenner's been great. And they still have Diabite. He's pretty good. They've got Kings, they've got guards, got both guards. Depending on how you feel about their wings, they could probably go wing. Let's go. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go for another. Was not a Charlotte legend. He was it's kind of a New Orleans Hornet legend. But let's go with New Orleans Hornets legend, Peja Stojakovic's son, Andrej.
I like
so I think that's what we're gonna do. And Andrej Stojakovic is going to go to Charlotte.
I like that for three main reasons. Number one, he gives them more shooting, and I do believe that they can always add more shooting.
I actually like his cutting more than his shooting. To me, he's one of the best cutters in college. And he's such a good slasher. And with the shooting they've already established at the other positions, I think that's going to be very helpful, especially if like Josh Green ever gets healthy again. Grant Williams was supposed to be a shooter, that was like 7 years ago, but was supposed to be a shooter. They've still got what's his name? Bridges can shoot a little bit. Of course, all of their rookies that they drafted this year are shooters except for Kalkbrenner. So I just think that they've got the shooting and the spacing that's going to be created with their team and letting Andrej cut in that spacing is going to be nasty. So I actually think the spacing is going to help him so much. I really like Andrej. I've had him lotto every year. And really nothing that his play has not deterred me in any of the places. Like I know that he shot poorly the first year. I don't think that's real. I think he's going to be a decent shooter. If there are people who believe that shooting is hereditary, you don't get much more hereditary good genes than his dad. His dad, his dad called 3-pointer Serbian layups for a reason. I
think that's a great pick for Charlotte. I do think that we'll see them go on a little bit of a fire sale here in a little bit, where they do move off some of their more some of the vets, and maybe replace them with different vets. In my opinion, I think they might likely go in a different direction. And they're looking to kind of reshape what this team looks like, philosophy-wise, trying to get healthy. Of course, they tend to have some untimely injuries that just take place. I don't know if the organization itself is cursed. Not that I really believe in curses, but they run into some very intriguing things. So that leaves us with Minnesota.
Speaking of organizational curses with draft picks. Minnesota, they need a guard. They need a point guard. They need ball handler.
already have one for them. I have two.
I've got 3. My tier that's left is 3 point guards.
So I have Bennett Sturts as
okay.
the number
He's
1.
actually my next tier down, but he's the top of my next tier down.
But I also have Caden Boozer here.
Oh, I actually have dropped Caden Boozer into the Bennett Sturts tier. I have Phylon.
Oh, I could see that.
Because I think defense, you want another defender, because McDaniels doesn't need to be guarding everyone, can't be your only defender, and you want Ant to not be disengaged on defense. But you want him to not have to carry your entire offense and have to be, your point of attack defender. You need to get a point of attack defender. Because I personally feel like McDaniels is a better chaser than point of attack. Phylon fixes that issue. He can be the point of attack defender while also being a good point guard.
I agree with that.
If you really care more about the offense, then I think it's between the next 2 guys, which is Tahad Pettiford. He's smaller. I get he's only 6'1". I get it. He's leading Auburn in blocks at 6'1". Like, he had 4 blocks yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before where he had 4 blocks as a guard? Like, the dude is an athlete.
Very much so.
I love Tahad. I had Tahad lottery last year and he didn't come. So I really like Tahad. And then the other guy is Christian Anderson.
Ooh, I like that. Actually, that's the most.
I think he would be killer.
You know what? Let's put him in there. I would go.
Christian Anderson's shooting is real. The shooting is real. And the question last year was, okay, so yeah, we know he can shoot, but you're 6'2", you're not a point guard. You don't pass. And now he's leading the NCAA in assists. Or he might have dropped off a little bit, but he went from he was averaging 2 assists per 40 to averaging 9 assists per 40. So he has been a revelation as an actual point guard this year. And so I really am excited to see where he goes.
So that moves us right to Miami.
Yeah.
And funny enough, because he didn't go before, I can't see that they pass on him. I think this is where Evans comes off the board.
Oh, really? Okay, so how many years does Hero still have on his contract?
2.
2? Okay, so maybe not. Because I was thinking maybe you let Hero walk and you just draft Bennett Sturts. Because I like Evans, don't get me wrong. But I think he's more of a second rounder. I think Sturts is a legitimate first rounder. And a first round talent. And I also think with Miami's offense right now, there is no better place for him to go.
Or they go Malik Thomas.
And see, so I have Sturts and Thomas right next to each other.
So I would say if it's not Evans, then it very much likely is Malik Thomas. So I'm saying Thomas, Malik Thomas.
Yeah, let's do it, because I can't believe I'm kind of surprised some of the people who have dropped this far, like Phylon and Sturts still being there is a little surprising to me, but this is the way the board has gone. So now we're in New York, and New York is your pick. New York cannot go little guard because
no, they can't.
They can't. So
tell me on who you think New York needs.
I mean, I'd be looking at Toppin and at Condon. I think those would be my top 2 right now. I'd also be looking at Carter Knox. I think Toppin is such a good fit with Cat, to be completely honest.
I think
because I think Cat needs somebody who can protect the rim next to him, because I think Cat's actually fine defending floors. He just can't be your primary rim protector, and I think Toppin can be your primary rim protector. But maybe to me, Toppin's not quite the rebounder you want, but Cat can do the rebounding for Toppin. So there's a lot of synergy there.
Yes.
Where, yeah, to me, Toppin's the most interesting guy here. But I could also see Condon would be really interesting. I could see even Mara would be interesting, but I'm not sure how a Mara Cat defense would work.
Yeah, I don't think that it does work, actually.
Yeah. If we're not going for that, I could see Carter Knox going here. I could see Thomas Hall going here. Cameron Carr would be kind of interesting here.
I think
Toppin to me is just really
Toppin is where.
Yeah, this is a good spot for Toppin.
I agree with that. Which
Toppin's been a first rounder for me for 3 years straight, so I really like him. I don't care that he's getting older. Like I like him. He's really good. So now we're at Toronto. So Toronto, to me, I think they need a point guard.
And that you already, I don't.
Because Quickly is
know
not
the name.
Well, my heart is wanting to, because Toronto has all that length, so they can cover up for Tahad.
You're going to Hod, but I think they were going to go. I thought you were going to go Bennett Sturts.
Well, I thought about Sturts. I think of Sturts more as a 2 than a 1. But I'm also looking at Phylon for the way that Toronto likes to do stuff. Like Phylon fits Toronto's way that they do, their modus operandi.
Yeah.
However, it's a new GM, so who knows? Because Masai's not there anymore.
Right.
Different so I'm going with my heart. I'm going to Hod Pettiford.
Okay.
I'm going to Hod.
I like that.
I don't know that that's actually where he would go, but I love Todd. I think he's an excellent prospect. So now we're at Denver. Now, Denver, I could see going either Sturts or Phylon.
And for the athletic upside, not that I don't think Sturts is athletic, I could see them going Phylon here.
Phylon, yep. I was also thinking Carter Knox would fit in because you eventually need a Gordon replacement, but I don't know that you actually are going to draft a Gordon replacement.
Right.
I think that might be, you just have to wish and pray and hope, because he's kind of, there's very few players that are Gordon, which everyone wants to talk about, like, oh yeah, he just, but like he's a special athlete and specially coordinated and specially skilled. There's just
developed
and loves to defend.
His game is aged so well.
So
right? Like if you look at what he was as an Orlando player versus who he is now.
Well, you look at they tried to do that with Jeremy Grant, and Jeremy Grant just said, I don't want to do this. I want to get paid. I want to put up a bajillion shots. Grant could have done that role. So you also have to find someone who can do the role and is willing to do it. And that's the difference. With Gordon is willing to scale down. And so it's just really hard to find somebody who would do that. And Peyton Watson might just be the eventual Gordon replacement when Gordon ages out. Which I still think will take a few years. Like, I'm not saying it's like, but you know what I mean. So now we're at Cleveland, this is via the Spurs. And man, Cleveland just needs talent.
On the back talent. And I think maybe.
And honestly,
you think they go Guath here? Magoon Guath?
No. I think they go Sturts. Because you cannot rely on Garland to be healthy anymore. You just cannot rely on Garland to be healthy. They really need a wing, and there's just not a wing in this spot.
Isaiah's still on the board.
Now, yes, but I'm talking about the more of a defensive wing, and I
Got
don't think that Isaiah's defense is lacking there. Brandon Burris is there. Miles Bird.
Bird. Um,
I'm trying to think. Well, what's the shooting they have? You know what? They can cover up for Bird's shooting. So let's go Bird. That's actually a good point. Let's go Bird. Bird works there. Also, the other one would be Cameron Carr. This would be another spot for Cameron Carr. But Miles Bird, I think they can cover up for his shooting, and his defense would be miraculous there. So I really like his. Or
So
cover
that
up for
leaves
his
us
shooting.
with
His defense would.
OKC.
Again.
Which, funny enough, let me see. Did we?
I know who they're taking, and it's killing me.
Please offer. I
It's Sturts. They're taking Sturts, and we all have to cry and be upset that somehow Oklahoma City gets Sturts again, right? Like this is how it works.
They're just going to continue to add talent.
And see, we almost drafted Sturts for the first OKC pick at 9, and they get him now anyway, at 27.
Unbelievable.
We overthought it with Sturts. That makes me mad.
They need a backup guard in LA, and I think this is where if the Boozer brother comes out, I think this is where Boozer.
Yeah.
I can see that. Is where
yeah. I could also see them maybe wanting to go more shooting with Cameron Carr would go here, but I could also see.
Do they need a big here?
No. So I think it's fine. And I think Detroit is actually pretty easy. I think this is Thomas Hogg right here. I think this is pretty easy. He fits in, defensive minded, not really good defensively, but defensive minded. He's going to try really hard. He's going to be an athlete. He can shoot a little bit. The shooting's not quite where you want it, but he can do a little bit of it. So yeah, to me, I think that this is a perfect spot for him, and I'm just not going to overthink it too much.
So I also thought they probably could have gone. Oh my goodness, the name just escaped me. They could have gone here. I think Condon was another one.
Condon would have worked here, but they do have Duran. Kareem Lopez was a good one. Another one I thought was Milan Momcilovic.
Okay.
From Iowa State with the fact that he's shooting like, I don't know what it is, like 173% on threes this year. But
which leaves us with Washington via OKC as our last pick. And I'm torn. But I think because they picked up, actually, I like this a lot. You can tell me what you think. I think Washington goes Evans here.
Interesting. You're higher on Evans than I am.
I don't know that I say Evans. The reason I say Evans is because they drafted Trey Johnson, who can shoot the ball, and then them adding Evans, who can also shoot the ball, gives them more spacing.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Before you decide on Evans. This Duke team is great because of Cam. It is not great because of the other guys. Duke does not deserve 3 first-round picks. They're not that good. Cam is good enough that they're undefeated right now. But the Duke team is not 3 first-round picks. That being said, if they want shooting, to me, Milan is a significantly better shooter than Evans. And also, if you want shooting, there's Zaven Lee is a good shooter.
Okay.
Zaven Lee is a good shooter. You've got Uzan's not really a great shooter. I don't really love Kareem Lopez. Ian Jackson is another one who we could look at. Ian Jackson's someone to look at. So those would be the ones that I would say for shooting. Also, Keyshawn Hall at Auburn has been pretty good if we're talking about shooting. And he also fits Washington style a lot. But to me, Milan fits on Washington better than all the others. He's also taller than the other guys too. So he gives you height. I'm not necessarily sure he gives you defense, but he does give you size.
Yes. Yeah. 30th pick.
Also Cameron Carr. This is another great spot for Carr.
You know what? Let's go Cameron Carr.
Yeah. So, the athleticism. I am struggling with a comp for Carr. Statistics wise, he actually really matches Kevin Martin statistically. But like in like height and weight, but he does everything so differently than Kevin Martin. Like it's his is more overwhelming athleticism than skill. And so but the statistics actually look very much like Kevin Martin. So I'm struggling with a good comp. So if anybody has a good Cameron Carr comp, send it my way. That would be helpful. So we've got, a little bit of time. We didn't go quite. Who are your big guys that you are surprised that didn't get drafted?
Condon was a little surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But because he didn't really declare much, like, and granted, I mean, they won a championship and he decided to stay. So, I am wondering a little bit about where he goes. And clearly this board is variable. It could definitely change in the next 3 months.
I think obviously Frew and Evans for you were the ones that came up the most.
Yeah.
Condon came up a lot. Momcilovic came up a lot. Mara came up a few times.
Yeah,
I think those were the 6 that we mentioned multiple times.
Yeah.
I would also say this is a second round guy, so I'm not at all saying he's a first round, but I'm just looking at my board now and seeing my 46th prospect is Jacob Wilkins, and so I don't know whenever we're going to actually talk about Jacob Wilkins at some point, but my brother and I were talking, and my brother was watching. We were on the phone, and he was watching Georgia highlights, and he's just like, "Dude, this kid at Georgia can dunk." And I was like, "Who?" And he's like, "Wilkins." And I was just like, "Yeah, this is Dominique's son." And he goes, "Oh, well, actually, he's a little disappointing if that's who we're comparing him to." But he's a super athlete for like a normal human being, and he's like a 10th of his dad's athleticism.
Yeah,
but
his dad,
like elite athlete. But he's had some fun. Jacob Wilkins and Kean Anthony are, they're doing some fun things for their dad's alma maters. So I think Kean is not going to be a one and done, but I'm still thinking that Wilkins could be a one and done.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm also surprised that Cohen Carr didn't come up.
Yeah.
I thought that he would, or that he might. So that was a little shocking.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is a world where somebody takes a swing early, like we saw with Yang in this previous draft.
Yes.
So it's not that he won't get drafted in the first round. It's that it's who's willing to take the swing. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to on that side of it. But overall, man, this 1 through 30 is intriguing because I do think it can be it'll shuffle.
There's also just a lot of different guys still left after 30. That's the crazy depth in this class. I've still got Carter Knox, Braden Burress, Alex Condon, Milan Momcilovic, Magoon Gawath, Boogie Flan, Zaven Lee, Ed Mara, DJ Wagner, Milos Guzan, Mackenzie Mbako, Flora Bidayunga, Kareem Lopez, Braylon Mullins, Darren Reed, Ian Jackson, Jacob Williams, Jason Shannon, Keyshawn Hall. All of those guys are guys that I'd be looking at with first round picks. So I have like 48 guys that I would be looking at if I had a first round pick right now. That's a pretty impressive class.
And that means in the second round, someone's going to get
Oh,
talent
yeah.
regardless.
There are good. One of those 48 guys, probably multiple of those 48 guys, are going to be on two ways.
And it's insane to think that they would be.
This is such a good class. This is such a deep class.
And most people thought that this class wouldn't be nearly as strong.
Oh, really? I see. This has been identified
that we covered.
Yeah,
I thought that
that's true.
would be this strong.
Yeah.
So the talent is there, and
well, the freshmen, like, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jaden Quaintance is the age of a freshman. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are we counting Valdez? No, let's not count Valdez and Sark because they were in the draft process last year.
Yeah.
13, 14. Steinbach is not freshman age. 15, 16. So 16 freshmen in our first round mock draft.
Which, I mean, I'm not surprised that those guys. I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what takes place.
And because this freshman class is so deep, and then the returners was a lot stronger than we thought it was going to be.
I doubt that they return for an additional season. I think this is the year.
I think this is going to be it's going to be a little interesting because next year's freshman class is kind of weak, so we'll see. It could be that some people make the decision is like, hey, actually, I can probably go 20 spots higher next year.
Return, yeah.
So we'll see.
This was our first mock draft, part 1 and 2. Thanks for you guys hanging out with us and catching some of it. We're going to do some more pods. We've got some more things coming. Excited to put it together for you. Continue to put out great analysis and good content. Love y'all's feedback and comments, questions if you have any. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
See ya.